Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Comic Book Burrito Extra Beef. My name's Darien.
My name's Landon.
First extra beef of 2024. I think. Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it is.
I mean, you
Um,
think a good way to start out? You think, or
I don't know. We're on the catch-up phase right now, not
yeah,
the condiment, the activity.
uh,
We're catching up on the things we missed over our break, specifically What If Season 2 starting right now. We talked a little bit about it on our bonus episode, and that it was out, and then we only watched like the first couple. But we didn't like review it or anything. I don't believe.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. We never like mentioned if we what 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 we really liked about it. We just said, yeah, we're watching it, and that was kind of it.
yep. But they released it one episode a day for 9 days straight, starting December 22nd until December 30th. Um, and yeah, I watched six and a half of them as they came out, and then the other few, or like, I guess two and a half. I don't know. I watched today. It's only because it's one of those shows that's like an anthology, so I didn't feel the need to like be like, oh, I can't wait for the next episode. I'm just like, okay, I'll watch it when I watch it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I watched. I mean, I only watched like I didn't watch any of them the day they came out. Like I watched the first episode a day
You should have
after.
watched the Christmas one the day it came out because that was awesome
I should. Well, I
during
just
Christmas.
I don't know if I told you this or even said on the show. I was
Justin
very sick.
Hammer
I
was
know, but I was very
the
sick during
greatest Christmas present. Well, that
like
Justin Hammer would have healed you.
he would
You could have watched
I
him
would have felt
dance, and
immediately
you were like,
better.
oh,
I'd see his dance and feel a
yeah,
lot better.
exactly.
All right. I don't know. I felt super sick. I didn't feel like doing anything. You talk about like when you have like parents that like get you gifts and all that, they're present to themselves and seeing your reaction.
Mhm.
My poor mom and dad, they just see me just like look miserable.
I know
As
you got a trip to Disney World, and you were
I
just
know.
like
You
a
know how
signed
awful I
Stan
felt.
Lee picture, and you were just like,
No, I was like or anything like that. Like I was just like, oh my god. Like I remember after I felt like a lot better, I got like called my dad and my mom, telling them like, hey, if I sounded like I was not impressed or something, I'm sorry. I was very sick. I
yeah.
felt awful.
Hey, at least I didn't force you to watch Green Lantern.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
I know. Thank God. I
Like,
think I were on a break. I only get sick once a year, but it's like
fun fact: the Marvels is ending its theatrical run with less money than Green Lantern did.
no way.
Yeah, which is really unfortunate.
I like that movie. I thought it was pretty good.
Anyway, but yeah, we're here to talk about What If Season 2. Next episode we're gonna talk about maybe Aquaman. We'll have to see. Landon, you still have to see it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and then after would be Echo, and then we'll be caught up hopefully. Um, but yeah, so let's go ahead and get into What If Season 2, starting with the first episode, which is titled What If Nebula Joined the Nova Corps? Um, okay. So, Blade Runner pop
Meets
movie.
Marvel.
Yeah, that's what it seemed like to me. I mean, you get some
Yeah.
Howard the Duck action in there.
Oh yeah.
Groot, voiced by um someone that never has voiced Groot before.
Yeah, it was pretty apparent.
Yeah.
I was like, huh.
Um, I mean, I don't know. What were your expectations? I guess going into this episode. I know it's been a bit.
Uh, I mean, I was excited because I did like the first season of What If. I thought it was pretty good. Um,
I was notorious saying that I liked a few episodes, but I think overall, me the first season was just okay because there's
mhm,
only like a few that I really liked, and others
yeah.
I was just like indifferent towards.
Is there a? Here's the thing. It's weird because there are a lot of episodes were just okay, but then like ones that were like really good were like masterpieces, such as like the Supreme Strange episode.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Man, that episode is like, oh my! I turn it on and rewatch it, and I still I think that I'll just go ahead and say it right now. I think that episode's better than any of the episodes they have
Yeah,
here. Now I was excited. I ain't watch again. I ain't watched it the first day. I just watched it later.
Hmm.
But I don't know if I was really I wasn't fully into the concept, but then watching it, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it was like okay, but it's like on the verge of just above okay, where it's good and enjoyable for me for this episode.
Okay. Um. Yeah. I thought it was a decent episode. I liked I can't remember what the premise was exactly. What the what if was. It was
So
Ronan, right? Something about Ronan.
yeah, Ronan or I don't know.
It was
I really had it in my head.
Ronan became too power hungry and he killed Thanos. And he also destroyed like Thanos' area that he was at, which killed Gamora and left Nebula stranded in space. And that's when the Nova Corps found her.
Yeah, and took her in.
Yeah. And
Yeah, that's it.
so you get like I said, we get some Howard the Duck in the episode. Groot, Korg is there, Meek,
Can,
whatever.
can I say something real quick? And I don't know if this is gonna be a hot take. I I think I'm at the point where I can't stand Korg no more.
I think you just don't like Taika Waititi.
Maybe. I just I don't know. Something I'm just I don't think he's that funny. Well I like him. Don't get me wrong. Like I'm not one of those guys that's just like I can't just have a little chuckle once in a while. But something about Korg, man, I think they overuse him way too much,
They do overuse him.
and I think that's what's bothering me because he's in. Is he in just two? Because I feel like he's in like 4 episodes of What If.
He's not in. He's only in one this season.
No, he's in two. Because he's in the
Oh, he's in
first
two. He's
one.
in two. He's in the first one. He's in the Sakara one. That's it.
Okay. Well, see, I already felt like too much because in my head it feels like it's like 5 or like 4 of them.
Well, maybe that's just you then.
Yeah, maybe I don't know. I think maybe you're right though. Maybe I just don't like Taika Waititi no more.
But there's also I saw a thing about Tycho. It was like the hate on him was a little bit forced, only because he made like one of the best MCU movies, and then he makes like and he's made like one bad one, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this guy sucks."
I hate him. Yeah, I don't
Damn,
hate the
Taika
guy.
Waititi.
I don't hate him or anything. I mean, I think Thor Love and Thunder is the most abysmal thing I've ever seen in my life. But I mean, I don't. I mean, I still love Ragnarok. So
Yeah.
but I mean,
Yeah. This episode, you got Nebula and Xandar. Yondu dies, and they're gonna. And it turns out that the person Nova Prime, I think is her name. She actually was going to let Ronan into Xandar to destroy the planet.
mhm.
Um, but I mean, it ends up being that they stop it, and whatever. Howard the Duck quacks at the end of it, which I thought was hilarious for some reason. He
Yeah,
looks
yeah.
like he just like talks normal the whole episode, and he has like one quack at the end of it. I was like, what?
Hey, I mean, I liked it. To me, he was the best part of this episode.
Yeah, if
And
you're a Howard the Duck fan,
I
that's
love
that.
Howard the Duck.
So yeah, that we really not much else to touch on with that episode. I mean, it was good. I like the. What do you think? I'm back and forth on the animation this season
It looks
because like
better.
it looks better, but something about it also doesn't look better. So I don't know what to.
Something looks off. I think it looks off sometimes. I don't know if it's just them like trying to like get it out there or I mean because I mean doing a 3D animation I can't imagine. I know it's no easy task, but there's times where like I feel like their body is like super still and stiff, but their like face is moving and it looks like a bit awkward. I don't know how to describe it. I noticed it a lot in the 1602. Is it 1602? Is that right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that episode I noticed it a bunch.
Okay. Um, but yeah, no, Nebula protecting Xandar at the end of it, and that was episode one. What would we? Let's rate episode one. Um, let's see. Hmm.
We're gonna do out of 5 out of 10s.
It's out of 10. This is a.
That's okay, making sure. Um, I
Mm,
mean, hmm, I I'm gonna say like a 6.5 for the first episode.
I was gonna give it like a 7.5.
So, well, I'll go with 7. I'll go 7.
Yep. It's pretty good. I like the cinematography. I like the idea of it. Nebula
Hmm.
sounding like a cop on his, a beat cop or whatever is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's funny. Okay. Next episode is what if Peter Quill attacked Earth's mightiest heroes? The Avengers '80s episode.
Hmm.
So
This one's a bit better.
yeah, and
Um.
1988, Peter Quill, the Ravagers take Peter Quill to Ego, and they get the whole expansion thing. Later, Quill returns to Earth after destroying a bunch of worlds. So you get Peggy Carter, Howard Stark. They recruit Bill Foster, who was an Ant-Man and the Wasp, Lawrence Fishburne.
Mm.
Um, hope he remembers that he's in the MCU now. And
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot. I completely forgot that he forgot that he
yeah,
was. He forgot he was in there.
um, but Bill Foster. So Goliath is his name in the comics. I don't know if they call him that. I can't remember. But he's in it. King T'Chaka, Bucky, Dr. Wendy Lawson from Captain Marvel, and Hank Pym, and his daughter Hope, who was there for some reason for the episode. And at the end, she's on the team, and I'm like, what is?
I mean, hey,
Why is this child on this team?
congratulations, I guess. I don't know.
But yeah. So okay, that that's like the team or whatever. I really did like the scene where Bucky comes out of the Quinjet or whatever, and it's
Oh
like
yeah.
Peggy and Peggy sees him, and it's just like the like music during that moment. It was like cool like Winter Soldier type thing of her
Hmm.
realizing like, oh god,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
A lot of Peggy in this season too. I noticed.
yeah. A
I
lot of
don't
people
really.
have a lot of people have a problem with Captain Carter and that they're trying. It seems like they're trying to force her, but really, what if is real was really been her story.
Yeah.
Like they like when the crossovers happen, they focus on her because she's like the character that
Yeah.
everybody can.
And I, mean, I don't got nothing wrong with Peggy Carter because I loved her. I mean, I guess we'll talk about her episode. Like, well, I guess her like regular episode, her Winter Soldier episode, kind of
Yeah,
the Hydra Stomper is I'd say the best one this season.
it's one of my
Uh,
favorites. Yeah,
yeah.
because it's such a good concept, and they
Oh yeah,
just
it is. I mean, I literally said to myself, I was like, I want like a movie of this. Of
yeah,
this,
it's like Iron Winter Soldier.
it's cool. Yeah, yeah.
Um,
But, I mean, but yeah, I really did like the seeing Peter as like a kid. I thought that was pretty cool
yeah.
seeing it.
I had some issues with the second episode, mainly, and I think I had this with decent amount of the episodes, which is only because they're so short.
Mhm.
But if they were longer, I probably would have got bored. But pacing, especially for the second episode at the end of it, they eventually like convince Quill to like, oh, you need to help us fight your father, and then we have like a whole like really quickly, he's like, Ego's like, son, you're here to join me, I know it, and then he says something. He was like, I always knew you would be a disappointment, and I was like, oh my god, like if we went that there that quick, like I feel like we missed.
He was already
I feel like we missed a
he was
portion of.
ready to hate. I guess.
I feel like we missed a portion of this conversation in between that. That was
Mhm.
like my one issue. I think they could have added an extra 5 minutes to the episode.
Yep.
But I mean, they fight on Coney Island. It was all this cool stuff. Um, I liked I like seeing all the '80s Avengers. I like the Avengers from the '80s.
Oh yeah, it was.
Thor shows up, which I didn't expect, but I guess I should have expected. He was alive at that point,
Oh yeah,
like
yeah.
8,000 years old or
Yeah,
something.
I know. Thor was around even way before then.
Yeah. They were going to assassinate Howard Stark. Winter Soldier was. The Russians were talking to him, and then no, Stark convinced him not to. Never mind. He was going to assassinate Peter. That's what it was. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, when he reminded him of Steve Rogers, and so he snapped out of it. And really, that's it. They defeat Ego, and they celebrate the Avengers now. And yeah, I mean, that's really all I think I touched on that.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah, it was a good episode. It
Do
was
you think it was
fun.
better? Because I thought it was better than the first one.
Uh, um, uh, yeah, I can say it's better than the first one. I think the story's better.
Mm. I'm gonna go with a 7.5 on this one. I don't think it's like an 8, great or anything like that. But
Yeah, I
I
did
like
7.5. I could go 7. I'd probably do 7.5 with this one too. It's probably maybe equal. I don't know.
it. Hmm.
Okay. Episode 3. What if Happy Hogan saved Christmas? The Christmas Eve episode. I watched this on Christmas Eve, drinking
Yeah,
a glass of eggnog with the Christmas lights on. It was really
yeah.
nice.
I was
Had a
dying
I had a
in
Justin
bed.
Hammer Christmas. Um,
Um,
let's talk about the return of the greatest Marvel character ever.
Justin, hey, did the guy come back to voice him? I
Yes,
think,
Sam
yeah,
Rockwell. Yeah.
Sam Rockwell. Yes,
Everyone loved that. I saw online. People were very happy about that.
it's so funny how well, I don't think anybody really had any issues with him in Iron Man
He's
2.
just like no one like he's not he's like one of the most minor villains, but he's such like a good. It's just like the way he performs as him is so good.
Very very memorable. Yeah,
He's also kind of hilarious.
he does like three dances and it's
Yeah,
I I mean I loved it. I loved it.
I love Justin. I love Justin. I can't wait for
Now
him to come back.
how does the episode hold up?
Um. Okay,
Because
so let's break it down a little bit. We can talk about it. So obviously it's Happy Hogan, Avengers Tower holiday party. And Darcy is his intern or whatever. She says she's never had a paid job in her life. She's always interns for people, which is true. I don't. She's always just an intern in everything she shows up in.
oh yeah.
But he's in there. Justin Hammer shows up with some guards to try to get a sample of Bruce Banner's blood so he can become strong and be able to defeat the Avengers. And Happy finds out about it, so he goes in there, tries to get it, and he accidentally injects himself with it. And he starts turning slowly throughout the episode into like a Hulk, like a purple Hulk monster, which
Mhm.
also ties back into the 1602 episode.
Yeah, how does that happen? It just
It's just I don't know. That's just
because
his edit, I think. I guess.
hmm, gotcha. Because I thought I was like, did they explain something that I missed that he got injected by the serum in this universe as well, or
No, I
so
don't
it's
know.
kind of weird.
Um, but yeah, so he starts turning through the thing. The Avengers are busy and Jarvis is inactive. He gets in touch with Darcy, who finds a new AI to reboot the tower system. Werner is the okay. Did you recognize who that was? The AI, the German.
No,
It's the dude from the Mandalorian. I want to see the or was it like I'd like to see the baby or whatever he said. And
oh, it's him.
yeah, it's Werner Ziegler, I think his name is.
Oh god, I
The
didn't
actor.
recognize that.
It's the actor.
I didn't realize that's who it was.
Yeah. I would like. What does he say? I would like to see the baby, or I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I
It
think
was a
I think
meme
it
when
is.
it
I
came out.
like to see the baby.
It was a meme when it came out, but that's his voice and everything. It's
Oh, I
funny.
didn't even notice.
Yeah. So she gets taken hostage by Hammer, who hijacks the Iron Legion and Hulkbuster armor. And Hogan, they have like a hallway sequence with Happy where he destroys a bunch of robots, and it was supposed to be like an R-rated sequence, but it's not. It was all oil instead of blood. It was like covering the camera and all that stuff.
Oh golly. Yeah, I
Um,
remember somebody on Twitter was like, "Yeah, it's super R rated," and someone was like, "What about this is R rated? Just
yeah.
robots."
Um,
Was it originally supposed to be like humans or something?
no, it's just
Okay.
supposed to be like if it were humans, it would be R-rated.
Oh, okay.
It's Hulk like literally biting people's heads off, like
Oh yeah,
robots'
like
heads
rip
off.
them in half. Yeah, it's great. It was crazy.
Um, he destroys the Legion and he defeats Hammer. And the Avengers come back and they fight him for a second until they stop. Then they walk off, and you have Thor showing up out of nowhere. Then you get a nice little Merry Christmas from the Watcher. And that was the end of the episode. It was just a fun little Christmas episode, just some
Yeah.
Sam Rockwell action. It felt like a bunch of Christmas movies, and specifically Die Hard, which is a
Oh
Christmas
yeah,
movie.
yeah. If anything it was referencing, it was Die Hard. Out of I mean,
Even
because
he was even crawling in the vent.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I mentioned. The whole vent thing. That's
Yeah,
exactly what they were ripping that from.
and there was a whole conversation in the episode that was from A Christmas Story about the rifle, the gun, or whatever that the kid.
Yeah, shoot your eye out. Yeah,
Yeah, there's a joke in that. I don't know, and since Justin Hammer this whole episode was like the highlight for me. I loved it.
yeah.
I think this episode for me is honestly, I want to give it a 9 just because of Justin Hammer. If it wasn't for Justin Hammer, I give it like a 7.5.
I mean, if it,
I gotta give it a 9 just because like it was
here's
just
the thing
fun.
for Justin Hammer, I'm gonna give it an 8.
It was lighthearted.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this right now, and you might kill me. If he wasn't in this, I mean, I didn't really care for this. I thought this one was just okay. Um, I'd say on par with, yeah, on par if not less than the Nebula episode.
Okay.
So, like maybe a 7. Um, I don't want to give it a 9. I think that's just too high.
Well,
I don't feel
that's what I liked it as much as a 9, so give it that.
well. As long as you like, I thought it was just okay. Justin Hammer really did save it
It
for
was
me.
better on a rewatch, so maybe you should rewatch it at some point.
So we're going to disregard my opinion for right now.
Yeah,
So
so
like basically this episode is it's not how Happy Hogan saved Christmas. It's how Justin Hammer saved this episode.
yeah,
That's the way I see it.
exactly.
Um,
Um, what if
it,
Justin Hammer was the main plot focus of every episode of What If Season 2? 10 out of 10. Okay. Yeah, let's get into episode 4, which is What If Iron Man crashed into the Grandmaster? Um, 2012
not,
Avengers.
I mean, not nice idea on paper.
Kind of.
Uh,
In
I
2012,
thought it was.
right? Tony Stark's falling through the portal, whatever, like we see in the first Avengers, except the portal closes on him right before he hits it, and he like as he's hitting the portal, it closes, so it like shoots him off into space,
Mm.
and he ends up crashing into Sakaar. And he's there. This is an episode that was cut from the last season. This was supposed to be the 10th episode of season 1, but it was put into this season. Um, so let's see. And he's there. There's basically Mad Max. There's a bunch of racers. There's a race going on to the death. Gamora's there, who's sent by Thanos to kill Stark for stopping the Chitauri. Um, Valkyrie's there, builds him a new Iron Man suit, and they have the whole race or whatever. Jeff Goldblum,
Hmm.
just some stuff. It was fun to watch the race and all, but after that, I was kind of just like, There was a post-credit scene in that episode, which I'm guessing you didn't see.
I did not see.
Okay, so at the end of the episode, the Grand Master gets turned into a puddle.
Yeah, I remember that.
In the mid-credit scene, it's him as the puddle, and he's just like sitting there, and he's trying to get someone to like pick him up and put him in like a bottle or something.
Is that really?
Yeah.
I like what he's saying. I thought. Look, I can't even speak. I love the part where he was started melting, and he started like saying like the
Like,
Wizard of
ooh,
Oz
this
like
feels.
nothing, nothing. Ooh,
Yeah,
very viscous.
yeah.
It's just Jeff Goldblum being himself. It's super funny.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it was an alright episode. Valkyrie becomes the king of Sakaar. Gamora goes to confront and kill Thanos, and that was basically the episode. I mean, I don't think it was all that.
Yeah,
It was just like,
nothing, definitely nothing special about it. And I mean, I wouldn't say anything really. I don't know. I thought the build
Josh
up.
Brolin did come back as Thanos, though.
Yeah, I did see that. I heard the voice. I was like, is that Josh Brolin?
Oh yeah,
I couldn't tell. So okay. So thank you for confirming that with me. Um, I don't know. I thought the build up to the race wasn't really much there, and unfortunately, we have Korg around there too much.
yeah, but it makes sense in this episode because it's literally
I
where he
know,
goes.
I know it makes sense, but I want him gone. If I see him any more times this year, I'm gonna lose my mom. Now the only cool part I liked about this episode was the race
Yeah,
at the end. That was it.
yeah, it was all right. It was just, man, it was. I don't really like the concept. I already knew this episode was kind of gonna be.
Well, I always thought. Well, I think the idea of Tony falling from space. After he threw the missile, but like didn't like make it through the hole. I think that's a pretty interesting idea. It's like, yeah, where would he have been? I
Yeah.
mean, my thoughts just think he would have just died. But then, it's like, no, he went to like Sakar. It's like, okay, well, what
Yeah.
went on down there? And it's just like, I was just like a NASCAR race. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
that's what happened.
Um, but I mean, I don't know. What would you rate this?
I mean, I give it like a 5.
Okay, here, I'm gonna plug my computer up real quick. I'm not gonna pause the meeting though, so you guys get some stuff that I'm not gonna cut from the episode. 1 second. Behind the scenes scoops. Plugging it up. Hang on. Okay, it's plugged up. There we go. I ain't cutting it.
Yeah, no need to cut it.
Not
No
doing it.
point.
You also sound a little muffled. I'm gonna say that
Oh,
once
yeah.
in this.
Sorry, does that sound better now?
That is better.
It's better. My
Okay,
bad.
but what did you rate it?
A 5.
Okay, yeah, I'll probably get a 5 too.
Yeah, just like an okay.
Okay. Episode 5. What if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper? Okay. Let's get into this. Sequel to, well, it was set up in the post-credit scene of the final episode of the first season, where they
Mhm.
found the Iron Man suit on the ship. It was Black Widow and Peggy. And so now we get Captain Carter the Winter Soldier, basically.
Yeah.
Uh, but with the Hydra Stomper. So they find Steve Rogers inside the suit on the ship. He attacks them, and so he's evil. We get Nick Fury in there. They find out that Rogers went missing in 1953, was captured and brainwashed by the Red Room, which ties in some Black Widow stuff in there too.
Hmm.
Um, they help Brock Rumlow protect Bucky Barnes from Steve Rogers. That was Bucky Barnes in this episode was something really cool.
Oh yeah.
They made him old.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that
yeah,
at
because
all.
he's not the Winter Soldier in this universe, so he doesn't have the Super Soldier Serum. He's just a
No,
normal
yeah,
guy.
they got frozen. Yeah, he
So
is.
he's just an old man. And I was like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty cool thing.
Hmm.
I think about that. But Steve shows up in Iron Man suit, tries to kill him. Uh, they incapacitate him. There was a really cool fight where she's like they're flying up through the floors of the building and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah, going like down the stairs and all that. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely cool.
Brock Rumlow was also back. Frank Grillo came back to voice him. He played him in the movies. Frank Grillo's playing or voicing, I guess, and playing Rick Flag Sr. in Creature Commandos.
Oh really?
Um, yeah. Um, okay, but they go to a secret hideout in Scotland. The suit is keeping Rogers alive. They find that out, and if through each activation, it reduces his chances of survival. Rogers offers to help Carter dismantle the Red Room in hopes of finding a cure before escorting her and Romanoff to a former KGB site. However, the group is ambushed by drones and Black Widow assassins controlled by the Red Room's leader, Melina Vostokov, who is Black Widow's quote unquote mom in Black Widow.
No movie.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so her, it's I don't know what to call it. It's not like I want to say fake mom,
Yeah, pretend
plant
mom. I don't know. Fake
Russian
mom.
mom,
I mean, I guess that worked. I mean, fake mom. I
I
mean,
guess.
that's what
But
she
but
is.
she reactivates Roger's brainwashing. While she holds off, wait, okay. While Romanoff holds off Vostokov's forces, Carter reaches out to Rogers, who sacrifices himself to destroy the Red Room. During this, Romanoff uses her grappling hook to tie Melina to Rogers' suit, killing her in the explosion. As Captain Carter tries to find Rogers, a portal suddenly takes her to a Renaissance-themed universe where she encounters its variants of Fury and Wanda Maximoff. So that sets up the 1602 episode. Um, yeah. So I was that episode. The ending also when Wanda showed up. She's actually voiced by Elizabeth Olsen. Which she wasn't in last. Well, I don't think she actually showed up last season. Besides the zombie version of her. Um, but yeah, all it seems like every actor besides Chris Evans came back to voice their characters. No, no, Black Widow was voiced by Lake Bell,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
who
it's
actually was in Black Panther
pretty
2.
good, pretty good Scarlett Johansson impression, I
Yeah, you
think.
remember? Do you remember the woman in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever that was on the boat whenever the Atlanteans attacked, or the Taloconians, whatever they're called? Um,
Yeah,
the woman that was there, and she gets in the helicopter and they fly off, and the Namor attacks them.
yeah,
That's Lake Bell, the
really.
actress. Yeah, that's who voices Black Widow.
Yeah, she did great. She did great.
But yeah, that's what if episode 5. I really did like this episode. I thought it was a great concept, good execution, good tie-in to my probably first actual favorite or second favorite episode of the season.
Um,
Um,
I mean, this is my number one right here. This
this is either my
this
number 1 or 2. I'm not 100% sure yet.
I'm interested in what your close one, your next one is. I love this though. It was oh man, it was great.
Yeah. So let's rate what if Captain Carter fought the Hydra Stomper. I would give this episode give it a 9.
Yeah, 9.5. Yeah, okay. Oof. Nah, I'm gonna say nine. I thought the last part was kind of nah, nine. I just want to go with nine.
The last part is in like the ending of the fight or her just being portaled to another
Ending
world.
of the fight.
Okay.
That was kind of I don't know. So I wasn't as invested as did. Like I honestly I wanted to watch Captain Carter and the Steve and the Hydra Stomper kind of talking, going at it rather than Black Widow's fight because I didn't want to go back and forth. I'm like, no, go back, go back. I was super interested in it. So but I guess that's a pos. I guess you could say as a positive in some way if I was really invested.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick. I'm gonna stick with a nine.
Okay. And I'll do 9 too. All right. We Zoom hates us, so we got to take a break for a minute. But we'll be back to talk about the final, what, 6, 7, 8, 4 episodes. All right. BRB. Okay. Episode 6. What if Kahori reshaped the world? An original story and character. I think the first one the show's done. Pretty sure. Um, yeah.
Yeah, it
So,
is. Yeah.
this premise is after Surtur destroys Asgard during Ragnarok, the Tesseract is launched from Asgard and crash lands in a lake in the oh jeez. Oh, okay. Hang on.
The Nile.
Hey,
That's what
no,
we're.
hang on. It was not the Nile because it was in America. The Haudenosaunee Confederacy in pre-colonial America. Giving it magical properties. So it gave this lake magical properties. After numerous tribespeople disappear while interacting with it, it becomes known as the Forbidden Lake. In the late 15th century, a young Mohawk siblings, Kahori and Wata, are hunted by Spanish conquistadors, who ransack their village in search of the Fountain of Youth. While hiding inside a cave, Wata is captured and Kahori is shot, causing her to fall into the Forbidden Lake, which teleports her to another dimension, where she's nursed back to health by fellow Mohawk people. A villager named Atarak or Tarax, I remember. I don't remember how she said it. Explains that the missing tribes people were teleported to the Sky World, where they gained powers and immortality, but were unable to return home. As Kahori familiarizes herself with her newfound powers, the conquistadors enter the lake, believing it to be the fountain, and invade the Sky World. Kahori stops them and forces the portal from the sky to the ground and returns home. She and the villagers defeat the conquistadors, rescue her people, and later force Queen Isabella to make peace. Soon after, Doctor Strange Supreme emerges from a separate portal and approaches Gohori. That was the end of the episode.
Uh,
Um,
this episode was okay. I mean, it was. I mean, it was good, but not like
yeah,
great. I'd say.
yeah. I liked looking at the episode,
Yeah,
but
the
I didn't
episode's
like.
really pretty.
But
It's a nice looking episode.
but I didn't. What do you think of this new character who I believe. I mean, I would not be surprised if she shows up in something at some point in the future.
Excuse me, sorry. I mean, I think she. I mean, she's okay. I mean, I don't. I'm not. I don't hate her or anything. I understand her powers at first. I was like, wait. I'm like, what's her powers? And then you told me it's like space there. I was like, oh, I gotcha. I gotcha. I like her. I mean, I think her powers are. I was confused at first, but I mean, I think they're pretty cool for what they are. Um, yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I wonder when we could see because I could definitely see her coming in live action at some point.
Yeah,
I really don't know when or where though.
I like Secret Wars.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna think, but I
And
mean,
the big
Lord, like
rumor
the
right
last.
now, speaking of, obviously we haven't done a podcast episode, so I haven't been able to talk about it, so I can touch on it here. Rumor going around right now is that Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are going to be working on Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty, and
That'd be
so
that'd be crazy.
there's some hope there for that. But yeah, what if episode 6? It was all right. Um, Looks good. I probably give
Yeah.
it. I probably give it a 6.
I'm in the same boat with you there. Probably a 6.
Yeah. Okay, now we're getting to the ones that I watched today, so they're
Yeah.
fresh in my mind. Starting with episode 7. What if Hela found the Ten Rings? Basically, Hela getting banished from Asgard, sent to Earth, and she lands in where she land? China. I don't know where in China, but wherever Wenwu is, the Mandarin, and his army. She gets there. She tries to pick up her crown, but she can't. She's not worthy. And so basically the whole episode throughout it, she starts to fall in love with I think it's kind of falling in love with the Mandarin a little bit.
Yeah.
And then she goes to Talo with my favorite character of this episode, Morris. He's back.
Morris.
Let's go. I was so happy when I saw him. I was like, finally, this is his second appearance in the MCU.
Uh,
I've been waiting. Um, this one episode, I think I messaged you this. This episode just made me ready to watch Shang-Chi 2. When's
I
that
no,
coming?
I felt the same way as soon as you said that, and I was just like, man, I agree with him. It makes me want to watch it too.
When is that coming back? I need that movie to come back up.
It is
But
supposed to come out late. I mean, it is. I mean, it's kind of
it'll
here
be a while.
soon. I mean, they
No, it'll
have
be
it's
it'll be a while,
yeah,
unfortunately. But yeah, she goes to Talo, where she convinces Shang-Chi's mom, actually, who was there. She convinces her to let her join the cause, and she teaches her martial arts, and she Hela recognizes her desire for freedom from control. Heimdall lets Odin know that he can't find Hela, so he comes to Earth to battle Winwu. Hela joins in fighting him, which is a really cool fight. I like the fight between all three of them. Um, and then she gets her crown back. Odin recognizes Hela's growth and submits Asgard's throne to her. She actually gets this cool outfit. It's like a white version of her
yeah,
outfit.
yeah. And I thought it looked really sleek and cool.
Yeah. Um, and Odin says she can have the throne, and so she gets it. And Hela unites the armies of Asgard and Winwoo's Ten Rings organization and embarks on a journey to ensure freedom across the Nine Realms and beyond, coming to the rescue of Gamora's people as Thanos attacks them. And that was where the episode ended. I thought it was a fun episode. I liked it. Not the greatest, but I mean, I think the writing, I found this as an issue. The writing for Hela is not that is not that good. And I also noticed the same thing in
The
gosh, it might
last,
have yeah, it might have been the finale.
yeah, I
Um,
agree. I agree with you completely. I don't feel like it's like the same. I mean, I guess you can technically say it's not because it's a different universe, but
Well, they made her joke. They made her joke around too much, but I can't. I mean, in Thor Ragnarok, she made some jokes, but they weren't really like jokes. They were just like
well,
sarcastic
it was more like her being
comments.
sarcastic thing, and everything around her was like dumb or stupid. And every time she was like being serious, somebody would like poke fun at her, rather than her. She's doing, she's cracking jokes, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. That was decent. That was pretty good. I really liked the fight at the end of it. seeing Morris ups the score for me.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Um, okay, let's rate that episode.
Uh,
What did I rate the last one? I gave it a 6.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah.
we judge it off that. I'll probably give this episode 7.5.
Um, I'm probably gonna stick with just 7.
Okay,
7.
fair. Okay, next up here, episode 8. What if the Avengers assembled in 1602? My most anticipated episode. I
Mm,
read the 1602 book. I think it's a really fun idea. I think it's just a fun idea when you take these heroes and put them in a different time period. Now, in the comics, it's completely different because in that you have the Fantastic Four and you have mutants and you have all
yeah,
this
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, Spider-Man in there. Yeah,
Yeah, and Daredevil, um, all that, and it's really cool in the comics. Obviously, this they had to MCUify it a bit because that's what
yeah,
this is.
yeah.
So in this, it's Captain Carter who got transported there from that one episode.
Hmm.
She's helping Wanda Merlin, which is apparently her name, and Sir Nicholas Fury stop an incursion from happening. So we get an incursion in this episode. Second, no, third incursion we've seen in the MCU. First was Multiverse of Madness. Second was the Marvels, and now we get this. So some universes colliding on each other.
Yeah.
Prince Loki is there. Love seeing Loki.
Oh yeah.
Um, let's see. Hela, Queen Hela, flies up into a port, one of the incursion portals, and um, and Captain Carter is now being hunted by King Thor and Sir it says his name is Sir Harold the Happy Hogan.
Yeah, that's what it was.
And he's under King Thor's orders. Carter learns the incursion is occurring due to the presence of the Forerunner, another time displaced individual, and works with Tony Stark to build a device that can identify the Forerunner using the Time Stone in Thor's scepter. Tony suggests she works with outlaws Steve Rogers, Bucky Barnes, and Scott Lang, who they actually call Steve Rogers Rogers Hood, because he's like Robin Hood. Um, so yeah, that was interesting, making like Steve Rogers and Bucky and all them like a Robin Hood type group.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I like it too. I thought it was cool.
I really, I gotta say, one thing that I kind of really enjoyed in this was how they had an army of Yellow Jackets, like the Royal
Hmm.
Yellow Jackets, and they
Oh
just like
yeah,
send them in. That's kind of cool,
yeah,
and they all had
yeah.
like
I thought it was cool too.
except the swords and stuff. Um, so yeah, they're there. They get they have a plan to steal the scepter. Carter finds the group. They're ambushed by Hogan. Carter gives herself up before freeing. Wait, Carter gives herself up before freeing herself and a masked Bruce Banner. He was in the first Iron Man suit. He had that mask on.
Yeah, why do you have the mask on? Just to, like, is it noise or something? Yeah, like noise or
Something like
something.
that. Yeah, something like that. They meet with Stark and join Rogers' group in infiltrating Thor's court. With Wanda and Fury's help, the group retrieve the Time Stone for Stark's device, which identifies Rogers as the Forerunner who had inadvertently created the temporal anomaly while battling Thanos. Um, he when he was fighting Thanos, he hit the Time Stone, and it caused him to be sent back in time.
Yeah,
Um, which was an unfortunate way to for that to happen. But um, yeah, so you basically have this whole thing of all these just heroes in this in 1602. The only issue I had with it was that Hulk. Some of the things he said were just like weird to me.
yeah. Very strange. Yeah,
Hulk smash thee. Okay,
Hulk smash
it's
the.
a little
Yeah, I
on
mean,
the
hey,
nose. A little on the nose.
that's what he'd say. I'm sure he
A little
would.
on the nose. But um, I will say, well, obviously, I can't really compare it to the comic. It's like because it's kind of like its own thing. But I mean, the comic's obviously better because it's got a. I mean, the Fantastic Four is cool and all that. But and the mutants are like the main point.
Oh yeah,
But if no one's read 1602, definitely go pick that up. I love it. There's also a few. There's a Fantastic Four 1602 book. Where Fantastic in that is spelled like actual stick, like Stick. Fantastic.
testic. Oh wow.
That's what it's spelled. And then there's also a Spider-Man 1602 book as well. Um, but I haven't picked those up. Only have the first one. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I like this episode. It's still my favorite. I just like time displaced story of all
Hmm.
these people. You see, like, oh, Red Skull's the working in the armory or whatever. He's making weapons. You see that at one point. Just some cool stuff, you know. Uh,
Yeah, I liked it. I thought all the designs looked great
yeah,
for the characters.
yeah. Elizabeth Olsen back as Wanda. Chris Hemsworth as Thor. Tom Hiddleston Loki. Mark Ruffalo as Bruce Banner. John Favreau. Sebastian Stan. Paul Rudd.
Oh
Benedict
yeah,
Cumberbatch, and yeah, it's just cool. Yeah, Doctor Strange does show up at the end of it. She goes back to, she returns Rogers to his time. She stays in 1602, and Strange shows up, Strange Supreme, and that's where the finale starts.
yeah. Me
Which
not
you,
realizing it was last episode, and that was a little embarrassing on my part.
yeah, we were getting ready to record, and he was like, you know what? I forgot to watch an episode. And I was like, okay,
I didn't even realize that was even there. I
which
didn't even
explains why
know.
he's so tired because they're recording this super late.
Yeah, yeah, it had to go a bit later because I was literally because I was like, well, here, I'll go on Disney Plus, look at all the episodes so I could see what, read the descriptions, make sure I ain't missing nothing here. And I look, I see this like an episode right after the 1602. I'm all like, what's this? And I thought it was like, first original, I thought it was like a trailer or something.
Mm.
I look and I was just like, oh no, it's like a whole other episode I didn't see.
Wow,
And and you asked me, I mean, I guess the obvious question is like, doesn't it say to be continued at the end of 1602?
exactly.
It does. Well, it does, but I thought it involved just like, oh, season 3, you'll find out, you know?
Yeah,
That's what I thought. And because I was like, 8 episodes, I'm like, all right, makes sense. And then that was it. Um, it was crazy. It was insane. So my bad there.
okay. Um, yeah. So let's go ahead and get into the finale. So I have thoughts. Okay. Finale is what if Strange Supreme intervened? Right. So Strange Supreme takes Captain Carter to his Sanctum Infinitum, where he reveals that he's been capturing quote universe killers to atone for his sins, which we did see at the end of the last season. And he captured the Killmonger when Killmonger got the Ultron armor. Um, And let's see, he asked for her help in capturing an escaped variant who fled to a universe where Hydra used the Tesseract to destroy the world. This escaped one is Kahori, who he was going after at the end of her episode. That's why he showed up.
Mm-hmm.
And then Carter agrees and encounters Kahori, who reveals that Strange has been capturing variants to feed to the Forge, a contraption he built to resurrect his lost universe. So Strange is back being evil. He attempts to kill Kahori, and Carter frees his captives, allowing her and Kahori to escape. Amid the chaos, the pair encounter Black Panther Killmonger, who Kahori separates from his armor, allowing Carter to use his Infinity Stones. While the pair battle Strange at the Forge, the variants lend their weapons to the two women while Kahori sends them home. Now, let me get your thoughts on this.
Okay.
So, Kahori has got the Space Stone powered Mjolnir and the
Mm-hmm.
10 rings on one
Yeah,
arm.
10. Yeah, yeah, 10 rings.
And then we go over to Captain Carter, and she's
She has
got that
all 6 Infinity
Wakandan.
Stones.
Yeah, also Infinity Stones, that Wakandan sword that Thor had, but it's got some kind of like crazy power on it.
Yeah,
He had that in the 1602 episode, I think.
yeah.
Yeah, and
The shield and Hell's helmet.
in Hell's Helmet, yeah. Um, okay, it was only temporary. It wasn't like that's not. It was just like a quick thing that she
OP.
put that on to try. Yeah, she put that on to try to like take him out. When I first saw pictures of this, I was like, "This is stupid." If they're doing that, and then I realized that. But now watching it, I'm like, "Oh, it really wasn't what I thought it was. It was kind of just like a one-time, just like thing. It's supposed to be like, oh, it's supposed to, I guess, to invoke it, like, oh my god, reaction.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
I did have a minor complaint though, and we talked about this for like a minute. And I really I want to ask it on Twitter just to see if I can get like an answer of some sort.
Mhm.
But how in the world was is Peggy Carter able to hold those dang Infinity Stones
There
with her
are
bare?
videos about it on. There's I looked it up and there's 4 videos, each titled. How did Captain Carter hold all six Infinity Stones? Why was she able to hold all the Infinity Stones? How she held the Infinity Stones?
Yeah, like that makes like no sense. Like I feel like
Oh,
her
it's
arm.
on Reddit. It's on Reddit. Let's see what Reddit says.
Yeah, well, yeah, Reddit has all the answer.
Someone said so the episode can happen. Fair enough.
Oh, okay. All
Um,
right.
they're making. Oh my God, have you seen the videos of the pitch meetings of like dude does like pitch meetings for like different movies and stuff? And
I've heard I've heard of them, but I haven't seen one of those
okay,
like a
so I'm
hot
not
minute.
gonna since you haven't seen it, I'm not gonna read this. But this guy's making jokes about it, and it's funny.
Hmm.
There's like a running thing in every one of those things where like the guy who's being pitched to the executive or whatever when he's reacting to whatever, so he'll just go wow 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 and just like
Oh, really?
yeah, and then someone wrote that in a comment, and then all these other people are responding to it with all this stuff. Um, but let's see, um actual reason. What is that a Willy Wonka reference? Sorry,
Get Willy Wonka
I
out of your
looked at
head.
I looked at it. He says actual reason, and he like blanked it out. I guess for spoilers. And I clicked on it. It said, "We are the music makers. We are the dreamers of dreams." I'm like, that's a line from. Okay,
That's I'm just because I
there's
feel
no
like her arm.
answer.
I feel like her arm should be just blown off at the least.
Yeah, there's no answer. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Unless it's the
But
armor. She did have Ultron armor on, didn't she?
no, I got no. Remember, he blasted all that off of her.
Oh well.
It was barehanded too, man.
You know what?
She.
This is all fiction. This isn't.
I know, but I like
Anything
some
can happen. This
consistent.
is what if
Yeah.
she
So
was able to
why?
hold the Infinity
So like
Stones.
you telling me Hulk? You know.
This is a different universe.
Oh, in this universe, the stones don't hurt you when
Don't
you hold
ask. I
them.
don't know.
It's
There's
bull.
no, there's literally no answer to this question.
Uh, I don't like it. 1 out of 10.
I have no idea. Okay. Um, but yeah, so they battle, all the variants give her the weapons. It looked like if it's kind of like I gotta be honest, back when I was little and I played with Legos, I had like crazy Lego Batman lore. Like you don't even understand. It was insane.
So I've heard.
Yeah. But this is like something I would have done. Where I would have given Batman like the crazy like someone like the craziest like weapons and then just like had them fight. This is literally like someone taking like like action figures and just
I,
bashing them together.
I don't think you've ever. I don't know if you've ever heard of this toy line, but it was called. I wanted to bring it back because I think they would do really popular. It was called Marvel Superhero Mashers, and
I
what
don't know
you
if I've ever
did
heard of it.
was you never heard of it.
I think so.
What you do is you so you buy like a figure set and it come with like two characters, right?
Mhm.
Like for example, let's say it came with it was a Thor and a Hulk, right?
Yeah.
And what you could do is you could take apart the arms, the legs, and the head, and like assemble different parts on like one character.
Hmm.
You know, so let's say for example, if I had like an Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, I could have like an Iron Man, like Iron Man legs where he can fly, and have Hulk arms, and put hook up Captain America's shield with it, along with Spider Man's torso. It was kind of
That's wow.
kind of weird. Yeah, so it was like that. That's what
Oh,
kind of reminded me of. I mean, I used to play the heck out of those toys, and that's what this kind of like reminded me of.
gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Um, let me see. Where was I here? Okay. Um, Corey sends all the people home. Strange is taken over by his demonic self, but Carter separates them. As the forge collapses, Strange sacrifices himself and his counterpart to it. The Watcher returns Kahori home and brings Carter to Strange's restored universe, revealing he succeeded in resurrecting Christine Palmer, though he can never be reborn into it. Carter asks the Watcher to show her the multiverse before taking her home. We get a cool shot of the world tree, which Loki created in Loki season 2. Nice little way to just connected stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Um, that was the end of the episode and the end of season 2. Uh,
pretty decent finale.
This episode was all over the place.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
it was good though. I mean, it kind of also ties into back to Multiverse of Madness, right? With the whole thing with the biggest threat to the multiverse is Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, this kind of shows that. I mean, he's already twice destroyed, once destroyed a whole world, and now like almost destroyed the multiverse.
Oh yeah.
So
It,
I'm interested
it,
if they because there was that rumor a while back with the MCU that Kangs are their goal is to stop Doctor Strange because they think Doctor Strange could destroy all that they built because
hmm
he's so powerful. But Doctor Strange wants to destroy the Kangs because he thinks the same thing.
Oh yeah.
And so I'm interested, like, if that's the route they're going, that they're like really setting up Doctor Strange to be this like big thing. Because there was also that rumor that if Doctor that I don't know if it was true. I probably shouldn't say this either because it was a spoiler, but it would be a spoiler if it's true. I mean, I don't know. There were rumors that Doctor Strange might possibly not make it out of Avengers: Secret Wars. Um, I'm not gonna say
I
how.
mean, I think I remember that rumor, but I don't remember exactly how he did
He
it.
gets killed by another character who is supposed to be like a big crazy moment.
Mm.
Um, but I don't know if that was true. That was a while back, and I haven't heard anything about it since. But yeah, that was episode 9. There you go. Yeah. So let's rate episode 9, and then we'll give our thoughts on the whole season, then rate the season, then get out of here.
Yep. I'm gonna give this episode a. Actually, it was pretty good. I'm gonna say an 8. That
Um,
one thing I don't know that Infinity Stone thing really did bother me. I was like, how is she able to hold? Like, I feel like I should just kill her or
yeah.
something. But
I want to say I'd give it. I want to give it a 7.
7, I got you.
That was all right. I thought the
I like
ending of it
the
was a
ending a
little.
lot. That's what brings it up to me a lot. Is I like the ending.
Yeah. That's fair. But yeah, so there we go. That was all those episodes. Real quick, there was one canceled episode, scrapped episode this season, and I wanted to talk about it.
Yes.
It would have been a quote very dark episode about Peter Parker, inspired by the movie Children of Men, which
Ne-
is a
yeah. Never
movie.
heard of that movie.
I've watched it. It was really good. It's a movie about it's based in like 2027 or something like that, and 2 decades of human infertility basically. So no one's getting pregnant for 2 decades. Human race is
Huh,
dying off.
Christ.
And turns out there's this one woman who's pregnant, and they find her and they're trying to get her to safety, and it's like this whole crazy movie. It
What
was really good.
can no woman get pregnant, or is it just like
Yeah,
hey,
it's
just
all just everyone's just
everybody just
infertile.
said no
No,
one day?
everyone's just infertile.
Wow.
And but there's just one woman who is able to get pregnant,
Yeah.
and
So
they take her to try to get her to escape and raise this kid and hopefully help humanity.
how does Spider-Man get involved? Like how do they
Well,
see
that's
that
not what the
story into?
episode would have been like, but it would have been something like that, and it would have been very dark. But they scrapped it early on, apparently.
I'm hoping we get like a leak or something, or Dan RPK comes up and explains what the episode. Because I'm trying to think like how the
Yeah. Um. But that's that. I also let's go. Well, okay. First, let's rate the season. What would you rate season 2 of What If?
um
I think it's obviously this show's gonna keep going on. It can as long as there's more stuff coming out. They could just keep telling more stories. Um, I think that I thought it was all right. I thought it was I like to I think I like the first. Okay, I like the first season better in total, but I like more of the concepts in this season.
The concepts were more like intriguing, but the execution I don't think was as good as it was
Yeah.
with the first season. I
And I'm
guess
pretty
it's
sure it is also going to be a new writer next season, from what I read.
that's good.
The same person wrote the first and this season.
I don't think they
Not
did
many
really a
people.
bad job either, but there's some lines I'm
Well,
just
they
like,
wrote
yeah,
Hella. And it was,
yeah, yeah. Hell, I'm just like, yeah, exactly. Because sometimes
but
it's not awful, but I hear like hella talk and other things. I'm just
yeah,
like, ugh.
yeah. Um, but I think I'd give this season. Hmm, I want to say a 7.
7. I'll go with the same 7. We're it's just a 7 episode.
Yeah. Basically. All right, we got one last thing I got to talk about before we get out, and it was that they did post a trailer, and I probably didn't watch it, knowing you.
I did see it. I did see it. It's the one with Bucky
Force,
and
yes, for yes,
yes,
yes.
I saw it. Yeah, knowing
The
you,
fir-
you're looking down upon me.
well, I know you'll be like, did you watch this? Be like, no.
No, didn't care. No, I did watch
Um,
it. I did watch it when it
yeah, it
first
was
came
like
out.
a trailer for season 3 that they dropped really early, and that makes me think that season 3 is coming maybe next year, beginning of next year, end of this year, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, but it's with Red Guardian and Bucky, and it's like a buddy cop episode. Um, David Harbour, I think he was voicing Red Guardian. But one of the things in this, which was really cool, was there's a character who shows up, and it's got a lot of speculation going on the internet because of it. Her name is Ranger Morales.
Excuse me.
Yeah. And it is a Spanish lady, and so make your assumptions.
Hmm.
Miles's grandma, most likely.
Yeah, maybe. Hey, that's
Um,
pretty. I didn't notice that when I watched it.
yeah. That's just everyone's thoughts, though. Everyone, people are thinking that. Uh, but yeah, that did come out. Teasing a little bit of season 3. We don't know much about season 3. Other than, I mean, there's probably gonna be. I don't know. No, I don't know what they could do. I guess they probably do something about the Eternals. Maybe I don't know. Maybe if the Eternals
No,
were there
no.
were there during the battle for Earth or something.
I think Marvel themselves forgot about them making that movie.
Oh,
movie.
maybe. But
Um,
I mean, do like the Eternals. What if the Eternals were present during the Battle of Earth during like Endgame or whatever?
yeah.
Um, or do something like what if I really think the idea of what if Wanda grew up watching musicals instead of sitcoms?
Yeah, that's a good idea. There were what was that one? I thought I showed you something, and it was actually like some pretty cool ideas. Yeah, I know I'm surprised like I have no Spider-Man at all in this
Yeah, yeah, no
season.
Spider-Man. I thought
No,
he'd be at least be in the 1602 episode.
I know because I mean they can do that. It's not like they have to go through
I'm
Sony. I just
pretty
don't believe
sure
they
we
have to.
got some What If season 3 uh episode descriptions. Let me here, yeah. What If season 3. Here we go.
Yeah, I wonder if there's gonna be. Ooh, I'm hoping
Ooh,
there's a cool like
this
Deadpool
person
one.
this
Yes.
person says what if season 3 will feature multiple other watchers, one of them being the main villain. Ooh,
Hmm,
wait, that's interesting. Okay. Um Apparently there's gonna be some Spider-Man villains in What If season 3.
good. I like to see if Deadpool's in one of season 3.
Um Trying to see, obviously can't we get some toast, but Mysterio is going to be in What If season 3.
Oh, good, perfect, love it.
Yeah. As Spider-Man as well.
I'm
Um
good with it.
there are leaked storyboards for a Surtur episode that got pushed to season 3. The Avengers fighting Surtur.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. I remember there was another one of like set with I can't remember what it was. But I think it was something with like Spider Man. I can't. It was something with him. I can't remember what it was though. It's been a hot minute since I saw that.
Yeah. Um and let's check one last look to see. Um yeah, I'm not seeing anything else. Okay. But yeah, that was What If Season 2, our review of that. Next week, as I said, or maybe next week. We'll have to see if it's next week or the week after. Has to be one of those two, but preferably next week. We're going to be reviewing Aquaman 2. And then after that, Echo, and then probably Gen V, and then some other stuff. But yeah, so I think with that, we are going to go ahead and get ready to get out of here. So thank you all so much for joining us for the first extra beef of 2024. If you're looking for the podcast, we are technically not doing it yet. We have a few little fun episodes sprinkled here and there, but in between. But right now, we're waiting until we got the podcast room up before we officially start for the year. Um, so that's happening. Just go check those videos that we've done. We did a comic book collection video, and uh, Arkham Files is happening. Episode coming out. When you're seeing this, it probably is already up. So yeah. Um, is that everything? Streams? We're doing streams.
Uh,
We're streaming
yeah,
Batman Arkham Knight.
I plan on getting back on Spider-Man here soon. I just scheduling's been hectic at my place currently.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah, I heard you did tell me you got your OBS thing finally working right.
Oh my god. Yeah. I finally got my stream working well. Visuals looking all right. So I'm actually going to be streaming probably after we finish this recording.
Yeah,
Um, but
I,
yeah,
I'll probably be doing tomorrow as we are currently so Thursday. Try to anyways. See if hopefully things go smoothly.
yeah. But with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. Thank you all so much for joining us for this episode, and we will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.
See ya.